Hey guys, Justin here, or you can call me Moose. Welcome back to another video. This is episode 1 of my Beginner's Guide to Airsoft, where you will learn how to go from beginner to pro in no time. In today's episode, we're going to go over where to begin. Here is a quick outline of what we'll be covering in this episode. If you already know what Airsoft is, and you are ready to make your first trip out to the field, this is where to start. If you have never heard of Airsoft before, I suggest you head over to my Parents Guide to Airsoft video and give it a look. Alright guys, I'd like to introduce you to a couple colleagues of mine. You'll probably hear them a lot in my videos. See them every now and then, like in a first person view, but here they are. We got Nate, a good friend of mine, and we also got Red. He's my brother. We don't talk about him much, but either way, these guys are going to be probably helping me out through a lot of these videos. You'll see them a lot of the time, both in my videos as well as in the series. They help me out a lot, and they can get me some of the shots that I can't get. In one of the future videos, guys, make sure to look out for some communication skills and techniques that will be taught by the three of us. We are in no way experts, but we've done enough experience, so we may not be experts in it, but hey, we're at least experienced with it because we've done a lot of Airsoft with it. We've done a lot of major events. We've gone to 300 player events. Communication with us three as well as the rest of our squad and even the rest of our platoon, and so that gets kind of chaotic. We'll talk about it in some future episodes, but until then guys, carry on with the video. So we're going to start off with where to play. So if you've never played before and you just decided, you know what, I think now's the time, I want to try Airsoft. I've seen all these cool YouTube videos, especially by Mr. Fisher Mooser. Yes. But anyway, you're finally decided I'm going to go out to the field. Where do you go to play? In Oklahoma, that's where I live, and so there's only a few fields that I know of that are like really good ones that I would go to all the time. My main field is T1 Airsoft. I will try to leave a list of these different fields and their like websites and stuff in the description, but my main field is T1 Airsoft. But I also know there's a couple in Tulsa. I believe there's an outdoor and an indoor field in Tulsa. I've not been to those, but I've also heard moderate reviews on them. But T1 is like the main one for Oklahoma, but I also know there's JTC, which I don't know a lot about.
Yes, sir. I've been to JTC, only twice now, but I can definitely speak to it more than that. I'd say definitely the communities are different. There's better and worse things about every field, and it's a good thing to sample around before you decide on one, before you settle down on one field. I'd say the most important thing is to find a field that you're comfortable with and one that's close to you. As for instance, we primarily stick to T1 Airsoft in Oklahoma City, but that's because it's way closer. If we live closer to JTC, I'm sure we would go plenty more often. Yeah. But
JTC has a couple more buildings than T1. T1's more of an open concept, which they're both like very different play styles, so a little bit less CQB. There's still some points to it, but if you're not from Oklahoma and you don't quite know where to go, the best thing to do is two things. One, go to Google your state Airsoft fields or Airsoft fields in such and such state, and see kind of what's there. Check for their websites and check especially for their Discord servers. A lot of Airsoft fields that are keeping up to date with stuff will try to use Discord, whereas there are a lot of Airsoft fields in some of these states that you may not think of having an Airsoft field, but they will have one, but no one knows about it because they don't have a website, and the only thing they use is a hidden Facebook page that they don't keep up to date with. So sometimes it's really hard to find these fields, but the best way to find a field is either from their website, find their community chat room of some kind, or at least find one for your state. There's probably going to be some sort of website or Discord community or Facebook community for your state about Airsoft, as most hobbies will have. And so just find one of those, or find somebody you may know in person that does Airsoft and ask them where they go. That is honestly the best way to find a field in your state, because some states are easier than others. Like if you go to California or to Virginia or to Washington, finding fields can be pretty easy because those are like the main three. But in some places like Oklahoma, it's hard to find stuff. Or like Rhode Island, I would doubt would have one, but you never know. So just keep an eye out for that. Another thing we are going to briefly discuss are rules. I'm not going to go word for word every single rule because these rules are going to be different per field. So I'm just going to list a few of them. If you want a little bit more info on some of the rules, I will make another video on that, but you can also check out my Parents Guide to Airsoft as I go over some of the basic rules of Airsoft. But the number one that I'm going to mention is iPro. iPro is the number one rule for every field that they have in common. You must have an ANSI rated approved eye protection. If you just go out wearing some sort of sunglasses, you are going to have a bad time because those will shatter, BBs will go through them, you will lose an eye, and that is the entirety of the rest of your life ruined. And so make sure you get the correct eye pro, but also check with your field. Most fields, if you're under the age of 18, you will also be required to wear some sort of lower face protection, not just some sort of mesh mask like this thing, but it has to be an actual protection, like a hard mesh, not just a fabric mask. And so just make sure you find whatever field you are going to go to. Even if they don't have a website to keep up with or advertise, they will have some sort of place somewhere where you can look up the rules, because that's also how you usually find the waivers and stuff. And find what their rules are for this. But most fields, number one thing is eye pro. Number two thing is if you're under 18, you require lower face protection. Apart from that, most of the other rules are kind of different depending on where you are. The big one is going to be the bang bang or safety kill rule. Our field, the one that we made in T1 Airsoft, it has a 0 minimum engagement distance, meaning if you are 0 feet, I can still engage the target if I have a weapon that can shoot with that minimum engagement distance. In other words, I'm not going to turn the corner and see red and go, all right, bang, bang, you're dead. Our field doesn't do that. Some fields do that. I think a lot of CQB fields try to do that, but they also require lower FPS limits. So just, like I said, check with the field you're going to and read their rules online prior to showing up. Otherwise, you're going to get yelled at by every regular, yelled at by the admin, and if it's getting to the point where it's too bad, you'll be kicked off the field. So paying attention during safety briefs is the number one thing. After that, have fun. That's the main thing. So as far as what to wear, as you can see here, we're kind of wearing different things. We're wearing our BDU tops. They're just wearing cargo pants. I'm wearing actual BDU pants. You don't need to wear this stuff. Like this you can upgrade to. Like, my kit serves me no purpose apart from looking cool. Like, some things are cool, yeah, I can hold extra mags, I can hold like my radios and stuff, but ultimately to have fun playing Airsoft, you need none of this. The only thing you need to have to be able to play Airsoft and have fun is you. Most fields will have some sort of a rental system, so make sure you contact them prior to going out to the field and ask, hey, do you guys have rentals? How much are they? And most fields will actually have gun and mask rentals, and those masks are going to be ANSI rated, and so you don't got to worry about anything. Just go in, pay your registration fee, pay for the rentals, and then you're set. So ultimately, what you need to wear is whatever you're comfortable in. However, I will say, if you are playing in an outdoor field especially, wear something durable and you don't mind getting dirty, because if you're out there wearing sweats, you're going to get really hot, you're going to tear, you're going to get caught on some briar bush and your pants are going to come off. I've seen it happen. It's not fun. Also, shoes. A lot of people don't think about footwear, but if you are wearing improper footwear, you can actually hurt yourself worse than anything else. I've seen more injuries and harsher injuries because of improper footwear and tripping and falling than I have anything else. So I've been shot in the mouth before, I've been shot in the tooth before, I've even been shot where it almost got my eye before, and all of that does not happen near as often as improper footwear and tripping, breaking the leg, the whole 9 yards. So make sure you're wearing proper footwear. Crocs, obviously a no. That's safely secure to your whole foot and have proper support, because you're going to be running all day long.
Well, there's a difference there between indoor and outdoor fields with footwear. Because in indoor fields, obviously we're all wearing combat boots, but at indoor fields, you might prefer something lighter.
Like sneakers or something?
Exactly, sneakers, something like that. These are heavy. These are going to make noise indoors, and if I'm trying to sneak up and get some melee kills indoors, I'm not going to want to wear these.
You're going to hear the clop clop.
Exactly, but out here, where we have steep inclines, we have brambles, we have rocks, all sorts of things you could trip on, I want ankle support so I don't hurt my ankle.
Yep. That's
so different considerations for indoor and outdoor fields.
Yeah, that's really good, because like you said, in the indoor field, you're serving different purposes. Out here, we're going through different rugged terrain. We're going to need something not just comfortable, but also durable, because we're going through briars and brambles and everything else. But
keep in mind the time of year you're going to a field. We see a lot, especially in summer, people wearing black hoodies and dying from the heat in the summer. So keep in mind, like the color of the clothing, especially black in summer, can kill you with the heat.
Yep. You'll see a lot of people go out to the field. They're wearing their sweatpants as well as their giant, thick like he said, black hoodies and sweatshirts. They do this because they're afraid of getting shot and that it's going to hurt. I will say, yes, being shot can hurt, especially if it gets shot in a sensitive area. However, the pain is like that and then it's gone. Unless it hits you like somewhere in the face or something, which that always hurts, but most people try to avoid the face if they can. But even if you get hit there, it's still like that, it's gone, may leave a little bit of a mark, but that's not going to hurt that long or that much, compared to getting a heat stroke and heat exhaustion by going out in the summer wearing a thick black hoodie. So make sure to take care of yourself. Being shot with a BB hurts a whole lot less than paying that $1,200+ emergency fee trying to go to the ER because you're suffering from heat stroke, and it's not fun, trust me. So a couple things to know before you go out to a field. It was, like I said, number one, make sure you check with your field's rules. Make sure you check for their waivers. Some fields also require, like if you're under, for example, under the age of 13, you're required to have an adult go with you, I believe, at all times. And if you're over the age, or at our field anyway, if you're over the age of 13 but under 18, you only require your adult figure to be there with you for the first time you're there, and then after that you're fine. After 18, you're an adult. So just make sure you read the rules and the stipulations that your field offers, but then also make sure to go out and just have fun. You don't need to be wearing all this stuff, and also don't be afraid to ask questions. I can guarantee you all the regulars at the field that are in these kit, you get kind of intimidated by, like, oh no, they're these guys. I can't talk to them. No. All of us that are in these kits like this, we're just a bunch of nerds playing. I loved it. We're a bunch of adults playing silly war games. And oftentimes, in fact, we want you to ask us questions because we feel big and important being able to answer them. So don't be afraid to ask questions. If you feel like you're getting annoying, we'll either tell you, hey, I'm talking to my friend right now, or whatever. Just don't be afraid to ask questions. That's the number one thing, because that's how you learn.
One more thing, and the things to know: bring a lot of water.
Yes, bring a lot of water, especially if you're going outdoor, but also if you're indoor. It doesn't have to be hot for you to get dehydrated. Make sure you're drinking water, because dehydration is probably the number one concern. Also, try to kind of like snack on stuff or whatever, because
granola bars or something.
But ultimately the water.
Salty or sugary to get you some of that energy back that you lose throughout the day.
And the number one thing that I've seen people make a mistake with is that they get really hot. They're wearing, their black hoodies out in the summertime. They're extremely hot and need something to drink, and so they find the coldest bottle of water they can. If you are hot, it's hot outside, and you drink a freezing bottle of water, that can hurt you and can actually sometimes kill you, and also start a heat stroke. Because think of like taking a very cold glass out of like the refrigerator or something and then pouring hot water in it. It's just going to crack and break it, so don't do that. But anyway, guys, that is going to be it for this episode. If you have any questions about where to begin, ask them down below in the comments. Also, don't be afraid to reach out to us on the Discord server. The link will be in the description below. I'll also leave the links to some of the websites and stuff to some of the local fields around here in our area in Oklahoma. Like I said, if you have any questions, shoot us a message on Discord. We will be happy to answer them any time of the day. And with that said, I'll see you guys in the next one.